Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Prince Insomniac, or Sleepy Sketches, or Princey, whatever you want to call me for this video. And today I'm discussing the allegations that were put forth against me, accusing me of being a zoophile and or defending zoophiles. Before this video begins, I just want to say a couple trigger warnings and just some important mentions here. Trigger warnings for, of course, zoophilia, discussion of kinks, discussion of bad dragon, discussion of slurs/insults, and lastly, discussion of animal privates. And if you are not comfortable or don't want to watch this video, that is more than okay, but of course, please look after yourselves. Thank you. The last thing I would like to mention is that I will be doing my best to cover this without pushing my emotions onto the situation in a biased or unfair manner. Even though this is about me, I believe it's fair for you to form your own opinions based off of action and evidence alone, and not based off of my emotions on the subject today. Of course, some parts of this video may sound different because while this is a scripted video, I have some people helping me write some parts because I generally struggle with explaining things that are stressing me out and make me uncomfortable to even talk about in the first place. I have no idea what pronouns Vice uses, but I'm pretty sure it's just he, him, so I'm just going to be using he, him for the video. If that is incorrect, let me know, please, and without the way, let's begin. This video will be broken down in the following ways in order to cover as many allegations/comments/questions they have said/made about me. This will also be in order based off of which video they came from, so feel free to skip if you want to watch certain parts. Timestamps will of course be made in the description. Please actually watch all my video before deciding things. I'm doing my best to explain myself and hold myself accountable. The least you could do is watch the video all the way so you can actually understand. Thank you. The glossary, of course, reads as follows. So video 1, am I anti-transparency? Why the images weren't in the videos/why I linked to the doc and didn't explain it all. Why show text on screen instead of the doc because I can't read it/viewers won't read it. Defending dog-shaped dildos, using gay as an insult calling me the R-slur/his audience the R-slur. Video 2 is this glossary. 1-800 Dust Bunny drama, the video Sleepy Sketches doesn't want you to see. I did something immoral. Video 3 is this one. Vice's semi-good advice on anger/video making, monster fucker dildo part, and then of course the conclusion. Am I actually a zoo? Vice insulting me/his audience, Vice making it very clear he either didn't do any research on me, or he did and he's downplaying the situation on decent, questions he never answered/confused comments, the doxing situation, and of course, my actual apology. So for video 1, am I anti-transparency? Inside of Vice's video, he mentions the following. Doc that someone else made about you and your allegations, not even really allegations, there's actual proof in these, unlike your video.
So what you're doing is arguing against transparency. Oh, motherfucker, don't you... Oh my god. Look, shouldn't you actually be, like, pro this and be like, damn, you're a hypocrite? Instead, say the hypocrisy. I don't know if that's just, like, white people shit. Genuinely, I have no idea. I'm a black-ass nigga. So, like, when I see this, I just go like, damn. You're retarded, because, like, you're arguing against the idea of being transparent. That's what you're doing. You're telling them to be more shady and more sneaky with their potential allegations, which you didn't show either. So what the fuck is going on here?
He claims that what I said in my video implies that I'm being anti-transparency when it comes to bunnies showing the Google Doc within their videos, description, and the comment section. Now, of course, I definitely should have worded things better, and that is going to be the theme of this video, where unfortunately I was kind of ignorant and I rushed a lot of my work. And of course for that I am truly sorry. I really should have phrased things better, so let me clarify some things right now. I am not even close to anti-transparency. I think being honest about your past and what has happened, even if it's stressful, is very important. I mean, I'm making this video right now. I think that sort of proves my point here. I value people who show their mistakes and who want to grow as a person by being upfront and honest with how they went about things and how they wish to continue. I think Bunny holding themselves accountable was a good idea. Showing the doc was important. So then why did I say I find it hypocritical? At the time of me making that video, I found it hypocritical that they actively showed a doc showcasing some proof detailing some not so nice things about them, while standing proudly in front of thousands of people declaring that Toy House supported zoophilia when it clearly didn't. Or that they were banned in the first place, yet admitted to ban evading. I do understand, however, why that happened and why they were banned in the first place. I know that they were unrightfully banned from Toy House, but I don't know the full details. I just wanted to mention this for this section. I actively say in the video multiple times I found them hypocritical. However, I should have worded things a lot better, and I know that I didn't really make a whole lot of sense to some people like Vice, and for that again, I am truly sorry. Keep in mind, I will continuously say at the time, because when the situation even happened, not a lot of info was out there. When I made my video, the doc just showed up, and that's why I mentioned the doc in the first place, and yes, I did in fact read it. So we, as the audience or people commenting, we didn't and still do not have the full picture, and frankly, I don't think we should push that exactly, but I'll explain that later. Why the images weren't in the video / why I linked the doc and didn't explain it all. Okay, so this will sound really bad, but please understand that my computer's ability to capture certain images / videos can make my PC burst. I can get certain images like YouTube comments, but they won't be blurry for some reason. They may have some blurriness to them, but it won't be as unreadable. I have dyslexia, and I also have an eye issue where I cannot read tiny writing due to my eyes. I have a left eye stigmatism, which makes it extremely hard to read, which is why I usually mess up my words in my videos. It's easy for me to read them by myself because I can of course take the time to do so, but adding them all to a video is a whole different thing, and I didn't really want to. Yes, I should have, and yes, I know this sounds like a weak argument, but again, you have to understand that I not only couldn't fully handle reading and collecting information on it yet, but again, you have to understand that I not only couldn't fully handle reading and collecting information on yet another heavy topic, but the doc wasn't something I wanted to cover in the first place. My main issue was Toy House claims, and again, I shouldn't have brought up the doc at all, and that was my fault here. I only mentioned the doc because I found it hypocritical that Bunny was acting like the victim of Toy House, and that Toy House was horrible and all that when it was actually the opposite. Yes, I'm aware the doc is kind of an iffy subject right now, but at the time, no one knew that. The doc is a mess, and I could read and understand it, but I couldn't properly formulate words to describe things because it was just a mess. And I now fully realize why I shouldn't have covered that doc in the first place or mentioned it. I should have just stuck to the Toy House situation. However, as I mentioned, my PC cannot take screenshots on certain applications, and Google Docs images break my PC for some reason. I'll put them on screen on what they look like for me when I've recorded or screenshotted the images. You could kind of understand why it was very hard for me to explain them and reread them all. I linked the doc because I didn't want to fully explain it, and if someone wants to cover it when I knew back then that I couldn't confidently cover that doc fully, then why am I forced to? I think it's fair for me to admit when I can't cover something and let other people read it for themselves and come to their own conclusions. If you're too lazy to read a Google Doc, that is on you. Yes, certain parts I should have shown, but I'm not going to show the whole fucking thing, and I shouldn't have to. I will link many videos, including Vice's, down below on the subjects in case you genuinely want to read the docs or listen to what they have on them. I know that I cannot confidently cover the docs, so I'm linking people who can. My approach on this subject now is definitely way better than back then, when the community didn't know enough, and I promise my opinion on that will be said later on in the video. Why show text on screen instead of the doc? Because I can't read it / viewers won't read it. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I showed text on screen instead of the doc because at the time, that was a bigger can of worms, and I genuinely didn't want to cover the doc fully. Not to mention the images were very blurry, and my PC does not make the images look any better, as I'm showing on screen now, once again. The images, in fact, are more blurry and hard to read, so why would I include that stuff if it gets blurry on screen and may not be readable for the viewers either? I covered the Toy House issue mainly and was just pointing out the hypocrisy of Bunny acting like they didn't do anything wrong when in fact they did a lot wrong, and that was the issue. Now, you're right, I shouldn't have mentioned the doc or even really shown anything related to the doc because looking back at it now, it was very clear to me that I didn't feel confident in covering that section. I had just finished making a big video on my main channel, and reading another 48-page doc plus the other docs and callouts was just way too much for me mentally and physically, and I didn't want to cover it. That being said, I think it's also stupid to imply no one will read the links. If they genuinely care about the subject, then I think they'd click the links within the description or comment section and look for themselves, since as I said, I not only couldn't fit all the screenshots because that's just too much, but also because they were blurry and a bunch of other things I already mentioned within my video. My friend Matt said it best: immoral to ask people to click links? Really? I don't think it's immoral to ask someone to click a link and read it for themselves. Not everyone is going to want to cover every single little bit of information on the subject, and while in this case this was a massive issue that I will explain later, not everyone should have to. You choose what you want to post. Not everyone will want to post about the doc and will just mention the Toyos issues. Some don't want to constantly make videos on the same situation. I sure as fuck don't. So why should I have to? If you can't read the doc or if it's too confusing, I encourage you to watch someone else's video that can confidently cover the docs, like Isaac's video or even Vince's own videos on it. Because some people have done great jobs at covering the doc. Not everyone is confident enough to do a massive video and give the right context or information, and this whole situation is a prime example of that happening. Defending dog-shaped dildos. For this section, I looked at both what Bunny said in their video, what I said in mine, and what Vice said about my comments related to Bunny's video. I want to make it very, very clear that I am in no way, shape, or form ignoring the situation, and in no way am I going to deflect or say that I didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to go over Bunny's part of their video and sort of mention what they said. They mentioned how caffeine is a zoophile and did not show proof of that in their video. However, according to the comments, that is in fact very true, and there are bewares on them around that I can tell that I will put on screen, and even the images of caffeine emitting to everything, and you can read it if you want to. I don't feel comfortable showing every single detail, as the images are just to prove they admitted to doing such things. Feel free to look at their responses on your own time, as I don't feel comfortable sharing that here today. From this point forward, I will be talking about some very NSFW related topics, and you can always skip ahead to the next topic if you'd like, as this one does get a bit heavy. In Bunny's own word, they said the following thing that I will play on screen now.
Big thing about this person is they're a zoophile. I had the absolute displeasure of having to see this person shove a bad dragon canine dildo into their pussy. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Like, absolutely disgusting. You're a degenerate and you're a dog dick enjoyer. I literally don't care what you have to say. I'm not arguing about that. You're a zoophile. Period.
When I think of bad dragon, I do think of fantasy toys, and when you look it up, that is what you will get. A bunch of different fantasy sex toys, and the only one that I can see clearly right now that resembles the canine area is, in fact, the German Shepherd one. And once again, I will keep saying this, I am not a zoophile. I don't agree with having a canine's penis go into those places regardless. At the time when I saw the video, I didn't see that kind of stuff. Again, I'm not that on that side of the internet. I thought it was just a werewolf dildo, and I will explain this part later. Or something like that, not an actual animal's penis. In my own video, I called it a monster fucker dildo because Bunny didn't say for sure what dildo it was, just that it was a canine, and at the time, I didn't know about the legal issues, the animal abuse, or anything like that. Nor did I have any idea that they have actual literal dog penis shaped toys here. When I saw Vice's video about me implying that I'm defending zoophilia or that I'm okay with it, I was kind of hurt and confused because why the fuck would I support that kind of vile acts? Vice does make a valid point, however, because me and him do not know what type of dildo it is, if it's a werewolf or whatever else. What I didn't think was valid was saying that because one claim Bunny said was true, that suddenly the dildo claim was also true or most likely to be true when we don't see proof or anything or even a description. Not to mention we don't even know if it is a bad dragon dildo because all we know is what Bunny tells us. Bunny does say that it is a bad dragon dildo, but how are we supposed to know that? We don't know that because there is no proof of this at all in their video. But I digress. Not everyone knows about Bad Dragon's issues, so some people will make mistakes about it, and I am sorry that I was a part of that. My wording was extremely rushed and uncalled for, and I should have explained this better in that video rather than just calling it a monster fucker dildo. I do not support anyone who owns toys of that nature. I do not support anyone who thinks it's okay to own toys of dog dicks or horse cocks, or anything that's related to animals. However, I do have a slightly different opinion on werewolves that I will explain later on, and I promise you, it's not what you think it is. I was immature when I made that video, and if I could go back and fix it, I would make a script. Make sure I didn't cover that doc, and make sure I did do research on Bad Dragon before anything happened. I'm truly sorry for implying, or what seemed to be implying, of me defending or enjoying that type of content when I do not in fact support or like anything of that nature. Using gay as an insult / calling me the R-slur / his audience the R-slur. Now, I won't waste my time on this section, as it isn't really that big of a deal. However, if you are going to critique or judge my videos, or how I do things, I feel like I can do the same, or at least be nicer about it. You use the R slur on me at least 3 times overall in your conversations about me in your videos, and if you want me and others to take you seriously, I don't think you should be casually using slurs and insulting me in your videos. Not to mention, you did use gay as an insult towards me, which while I don't really care that much about, it's just something I wanted to point out because that didn't really need to be said, and considering you yourself also claim to back up and calm down before making a video, it gives off the impression that you didn't calm down when making videos about me, and claiming things or assuming things, extremely serious things that I will mention at the end of the video. It just isn't a good look on you, and if you are going to be a commentary YouTuber, you want people to respect you the way I'm respecting you right now by not insulting you. I suggest really looking inwards, because I don't respect or respond to people who call me slurs in real life, so what makes you so special? I don't hate Vice, I don't hate his content, I even watch his videos. Even now while I'm writing this script, I'm literally watching one of his videos. I just don't appreciate being insulted multiple times. You comment with such kindness or calmness, but in your videos you made about me, you actively treated me like shit, and I just don't appreciate it. It took multiple people doxing me for you to be kind to me, and I think that's kind of fucked. At least that's how I view it. I can't fully tell if you were kind to me before in comments, but that's where I stand on it. Now, I do appreciate the concerns and the comments and the communication, but that's the only compliments that I can confidently give you in this current moment. Video 2, 1-800 Dust Bunny Drama, the video Sleepy Sketches doesn't want you to see. The title of this video is not only wrong, but you could have cleared things up to me in the comments, which I know you like to do because you offered it to everyone else but me. You offered to clear things up in the comment section for another commenter, but you can't be bothered to ask me for clarification on anything and just assume shit, which is a running theme in your videos, by the way. I even asked you questions in order to clear things up before I started making this video, and you still have yet to respond, yet will respond to everyone else in your comment section. I did something immoral. The video that he's talking about is the second video Bunny made about the situation. A video that pretty much didn't fix anything about the first video and really only showed that both sides are extremely complex, and something I didn't want to cover in full-length videos because I didn't want to. I already covered the Toyo situation. I knew I couldn't confidently cover the next because I wasn't mentally or physically stable enough from personal reasons that I don't wish to share as to not make anyone feel bad for me because I don't want to look for pity here or support, but I knew I couldn't confidently cover that because of those issues. He made a long video where I'm only in it for about 5-ish minutes, and he basically casually insults me by saying only diehard fans are going to look at my community tab and that I clearly don't have many diehard fans and such, so I should have just made a video because me making a community post covering it was immoral. I will play the clip of what he said right now.
A very angry little manlet, okay? Because although I'm not short, I do have short person anger. Yeah, but basically, after my video from yesterday, I forgot that every side of this conflict has responded, and all sides are immorally bad at this, making me want to laugh like a piece of shit. So, first, we have to go look at the fucking person we talked at yesterday. Sleepy Sketches, Prince Insomniac, whatever you want to call them. But they have done something immoral, and I want to cover that real quick. In the last video I made, they didn't show proof. Obviously, that is very, very immoral, especially for a person who's being hypocritical by getting mad that the other person that you're covering isn't showing proof. Not only that, but instead of making a full-fledged video in order to respond to their video, what they had decided to do was to make a post so not as many people will see the fucking community. I hate to say this, but only your die-hard fans are actually going to be looking at this, and really, do you really think every person who watched that video is a die-hard fan? If they were, you would have already had like 1K. But you don't. Come on, motherfucker. You know this, right? Especially if you made a video that's super well researched and has barely any flaws in it about, you know, Minecraft pedophiles or whatever. But, you know, what can I say about a person who literally just does the exact same things they accuse others of doing? Very, very immoral. Very, very bad.
He not only did not include all of what I said in the community post, but he keeps saying the word immoral like it's some sacred word that must be protected at all costs. How is it immoral that I didn't want to make a video about a topic that I didn't want to cover? How is it immoral that I didn't want to make a whole 50-minute long video, again covering someone's deeper issues when I didn't want to? At the end of the day, it's my channel, it's my content. I post what I want to fucking post. I posted it on my community tab, and those who wished to know about it went and checked it out. I may not have many diehard fans, but I have fans that understand me and understand I may not want to cover every single little bit of an issue like other commentary channels, because again, I just wanted to cover the Toyo situation in a video. However, I did want to share my 2 cents on the second video if anyone genuinely wanted to know, and guess what? People did want to know, and some even liked it and read it. Some wanted my opinion on it, and that's good enough for me. It's not immoral that I knew I couldn't confidently cover it, so I just gave some bullet points because I felt like it was needed, and that's all I think is important. It's not immoral, you just don't like how I run my channel, and you don't like how I do things, which is more than fair, but to say it's immoral over and over again is, at the end of the day, just your opinion. I shouldn't have to cover something that doesn't interest me, or I don't know I can't confidently cover correctly. I chose the latter. I wanted to give my 2 cents without making a video because I wanted a fucking break. I didn't expect that video to explode, and I don't expect the amount of people commenting or the people wanting my opinions either. I just ran with it, like how I run my main channel, Prince Insomniac, because that's the only way I go about it. Of course, I've learned from this experience that you can't please everyone, and that some people just don't like your responses, and that is more than okay. You can call it immoral all you like, Vice. It's your opinion after all, and it's very clear I can't persuade you. Vice's semi-good advice on anger/video making. I totally agree with this part of his video. When you're angry, you tend to not think rationally. When I made that video, it was very, very, very clear that I was just pissed off and I wasn't giving a damn about how I worded things or who I was talking about, and for that, I am truly sorry. I try not to show that side of me because usually when I make videos, I do calm down and I write a script like I did for this video, and for me not to do that and to make such a low quality piece of shit is horrific, and I shouldn't have posted it in the first place. Monster fucker dildo part. This part, once again, is going into more serious and darker topics related to NSFW and some talks about zoophilia and some opinions others may disagree with. At the end of the day, this is just me and someone else's opinion, so please do what you want with this information. Now, I sent a screenshot to my friend of some quotes from the third video, word for word pretty much, of exactly what Vice did not like about my wording, and I asked them to give me their opinion on it and sort of how they felt about the response with as much context as they needed, and this is what they said. I've been sitting here staring at this. A werewolf is a human who has been cursed to shift into this hybrid under the full moon, eat and kill people. Visualized usually with this that I will show on screen. A werewolf is an anthropomorphic humanoid thing. Personally, I look at that thing, I don't see a 4-legged dog who wags his tail and barks at things that it's scared of. I view it as a beast or a monster, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, which is why it fits into the monster fucker category. He's making so many assumptions. His main argument is you don't know that. But my guy, neither do you. He has every right to not like something, to not agree with something. But to push that onto things where it obviously doesn't fit, this pic is not a dog, it isn't a normal wolf, it isn't an animal. He's focusing on one body part and seeing what he wants. So many things share body parts and share likeness, especially in a world where everything is based off of best guess, evidence, what hypothesis can be proven or disproven. For a mythical creature who turns into a hybrid form, to hypothesize he could have a hybrid cock is not that far of a stretch. Like, it's ridiculous, and I could bet they're either young or just really closed off. Many can identify the difference between fantasy and real life. No one in their right mind is going to these things and thinking dog. If people go to these things, they see beast. They see something that can think, can talk like a human, that is intelligent, that can learn consent, and that can consent. That can understand, and that can be understood by, like a humankind. I then asked them about the dildo itself, as if a dildo could be considered a werewolf monster dildo, and this is what they said. I mean, you can reverse it and it's still the same thing. I could also say just because he claims it looks like a dog thing doesn't mean it's not a monster fucker dildo. Someone sees what they want to see. He is the one looking at it and thinking of dog. That's on him. This is where his brain is going. I look at a knotted dildo and I'm not like, dog, gag, terrible. I look at a knotted dildo and I see a knotted dildo. I see a cock shape with a bulge at the end. He is the one seeing something sexual and connected it to a dog. I look at this and I see a dildo. I don't know about you, I see a piece of silicone with a vague penis shape and an egg-ish shaped bulge. They did send me an example image of what they meant, however, I don't know if I will actually show that, and if I do, I'll put it on screen now and you can skip to the next timestamp when it's gone to continue the video. At the end of the day, it's up to you on how you want to interpret the video and this section. I did, however, do some research, and there's only one dildo on the Bad Dragon website that I'm aware of, and if that one is the one that the person used, then of course that is zoophilia in my eyes. Because that person is using a dildo literally based off of a real life fucking dog, which is horrific and should not be normalized at all. However, we don't know. At the end of the day, none of us know anything because Bunny did not specify and did not just show that in the video randomly. Bunny did not specify anything and just randomly mentioned it in the video. And I think after learning many things from the videos I've seen, I should have worded things a lot better, especially if this is the German Shepherd dildo, then of course that person is fucking disgusting, and what I said was out of line. But if this isn't, then I rest my case here. If it was just a fantasy toy, and not the ones based off of literal animals, like the German Shepherd or the horse dildo, or really any other animal, then of course my opinion is strictly against that kind of product. And when researching things for this video, when I saw the kinds of toys they made, seeing these toys made me sick to my fucking stomach. And me personally, I'm not supporting zoophilia here. So, conclusion. Before I get into the conclusion, I want to say I will be using emotional words / saying a lot of emotions here for the conclusion. So you can skip this if you want, but it's very important to the actual discussion, and I think it's important. And I want to feel the right to be emotional for this section because it's an apology. I don't want to seem emotionless, so I apologize. Am I actually a zoophile? That is for you to decide, honestly. I feel like I can't properly convince anyone that I'm not one, especially when everyone can have their own opinion. If you asked me, my friends, my family, or even fans, they'd say of course I'm not one. But they are also biased, so I understand not wanting to believe them. My voice is my own in that video that I made, and I encourage you to form your own opinion on me and my actions based off of this video. Vice's video to an extent, and my old video. Because again, that is my voice, that is me speaking, not some AI or someone else's words. This whole situation to me is genuinely just a wrong choice of words and someone called me out for it, and that I'm extremely grateful to Vice and anyone else who called me out on my actions. It does reflect badly on my character and how I make videos, and I can understand if someone is upset or disturbed or distrusting of my resources or my character, and for that I am extremely sorry. I feel like I did my best at defending myself and my character as a whole. I don't feel like I missed anything, and if I did, please let me know. I do want to get better, but I can't if no one tells me what I did wrong on this video or how to improve. Like I said, YouTube is a learning curve for me, and I should have done better research and better time reflecting on what was given in Bunny's video. Again, if I could go back, I would change the video, and I wouldn't have discussed certain topics Bunny mentioned in their video, and I would have done a lot more research on Bad Dragon, because I feel like this is the main reason why I was so misinformed. I mentioned a place that has such horrific, vile acts on animals, and while I don't want to go into details with that because it grossed me out and this video isn't about that topic, I encourage you to please form your own opinion on me, and I would love for you all to please watch the videos linked down below about Bad Dragon and the call-out posts because they have done so much wrong. And no, I don't think it's immoral for me to not cover a topic that already stresses me out and a topic that I know I couldn't confidently cover in the best way, as I struggle a lot to talk about serious topics like this one, for instance. It'll most likely be up in June or sooner depending on when I do it, because I'm getting help from many other people in order to make sure this video isn't a waste of people's time. One last thing I'd like to mention is, if I supported or enjoyed or whatever in zoophilia, why the fuck would I actively report a zoophile and tell my audience to do the same? Why would I show people this vile piece of shit if I supported his actions? I even linked the issues and what they have done, and while I didn't make a video on it, that was because I was busy with personal and real life issues related to my health and I didn't want to strain myself, but I wanted people to report this asshole anyways. If you call me immoral for showing a zoophile and telling people to report them, then I don't know what to tell you. Because I don't see this as immoral. I was doing the best I could with my health in mind. The next 2 parts are going to be a lot more heated because I can't stand what he said and done, and I feel like this stuff needs to be said. Now, Vice insulting me / his audience. I already mentioned this briefly, but Vice, this is specifically about you, so you better listen up. You can insult my character, you can insult and make valid points about my video. Now what you shouldn't ever do is insult me by using the R slur or using gay as an insult. Not to mention, you called your own commenters the R slur in your latest video on the situation. So I don't really understand how that helps you get your point across when you are actively insulting me and your own fans. And no, that fan did not say they were okay with you calling them slurs, and even if they did, as a viewer myself looking in, and my friends even looking at your videos too, you use the R slur a lot, and it's very insulting and immature. You could even swear and I wouldn't care, but you're actively insulting people with slurs, and that is never okay. Saying or implying that I do not have diehard fans, or that I don't have enough fans to justify me making a community post about their second video is extremely fucking rude. You act so kind in your comments and understanding, but you actively insulted my content, my videos, my audience, and your own audience all in multiple videos, and that is just fucking stupid. I know you're better. I know you're better than that, so come on now. Especially when you give that whole speech on not responding to stuff when you're angry, or when you don't know enough information because it makes you idiotic and immature. You remember that part? Because I sure as fuck do, and I loved that part, yet here you are, not using your own words and logic or advice towards me on yourself. I'm not that upset at Vice here. I'm more upset at how he continued to belittle me and insult me and my content multiple times when I didn't even know he made these fucking videos in the first place. I was on my main channel and here he was, insulting me and my work and my audience, and I'm truly sorry for not seeing those videos sooner so I could respond in a timely manner, because that is not okay on my end. You gave your own audience kindness in that comment share video, yet you do not do the same to my own audience. And why is that? Because you assumed things? Because you made multiple videos and added me to titles to drag me into more hot water than you already did? I didn't see your videos, Vice. I didn't hide Bunny's video. I didn't hide your videos. I didn't hide shit all. I didn't want to cover Bunny's second video, and somehow that's immoral, when I knew I couldn't confidently cover those subjects, and I was slowly realizing that as the situation got way more complex than even Vice and I's issues. I linked stuff so people could read it because I couldn't stand reading those situations without putting my mental health in a worse state. This isn't me saying this for pity, but everyone has a limit on what they can and cannot comfortably and confidently cover. That issue with the doc and the he said, she said bullshit was way too much for me, and I'm sorry I couldn't handle it and make a video appropriately. Vice making it clear he didn't either do the research on me or he did, and he's downplaying the situation on Decent. You can say me mentioning this part is not needed, but for those who actually suffered and those who watched the video and were part of the video, this is needed. When you mentioned my video on Decent SMP, you not only spread misinformation, but you were actively downplaying the situation because it has a Minecraft thumbnail. How fucking vile do you have to be for you to downplay it and call it a video about pedophilia, when one, that isn't even inside the video itself, and two, this isn't about just one person? You clearly didn't do the research, and even if it was a joke, it was a very fucked up joke on the situation that not only affected me horribly, but it also affected many other people, including minors being sexualized, people being shipped with adults, and many more situations. But of course you wouldn't fucking know this because your ass was too busy spreading assumptions and fucking lies about the Decent video to actually watch the damn thing. I did not spend weeks of my life mentally and physically drained, suffering, to have this video downplayed and joked about. You can insult me, you can call me whatever the hell you want, but don't you ever come onto my channels and downplay something that was so horrific that someone fucking offed themselves. You are a piece of shit for bringing that part up, and I have no respect for you on this situation. Yes, I did mention it in my video, but for you to assume shit about it when you didn't even do the bare minimum of research on me to see how old I was, is just proving my point further. My fucking age is in my channel's description. You use the correct pronouns but can't be bothered to read my age in my bio. If you can't do the bare minimum research on me or the video that you're mentioning, aka the Decent video, then don't fucking talk about it. That goes for myself too after learning about the situation with Bunny, but this section is about you, not me. If you do watch the decent video though, please don't make a video on it. I highly doubt you're going to watch it, but if you do, don't make a video on it. The victims and the people involved have moved on, and I don't think having someone like you covering the subjects in that video when you actively called it a pedo call out isn't a good idea. Please do not cover it and have respect for the people that are actually involved in the situation. Thank you. Questions he never answered / confused comments. So now that I'm done being heated and a bit pissed off, I do have some questions because he did not bother to answer my questions despite him actively making videos, and I know damn well he saw that comment, and if he didn't, then my bad, but he actively responded to other people in that same comment section that same day that I sent my comment, but he couldn't be bothered to reply to me, you know, the person you're waiting for the video on. Ignoring the last bit because I did rewatch that video and he does not in fact agree with the commenter. He says I may not be a zoophile, so that is my bad, but I did ask the first question and he's still not posting. Still saying the R slur, still making videos and responding to people, so why can't he fucking respond to me? I think what he's talking about is the zoophilia call-out post I did, or the one where some kid called me a zoophile, which was my bad on my end. I probably shouldn't have posted it, but I felt like it was needed since they randomly called me a zoophile and such when I'm obviously not one because they did no research and they basically said it just because they didn't agree with me, and that was my bad. However, as that was someone very young and I left that post up to sort of just show my mistakes and my actions, and I keep things up so that people can see stuff I've done and can see the possible growth or see the changes I've made. I think what's crazy about all this is Vice actively looks at my community tab. I mean, he literally saw the community post where I mentioned being doxxed, and he responded very quickly, so he obviously has at least, I hope, has seen the rest of my community tab, so I generally don't understand why he thinks or assumes I'm a zoophile when there's a post there showing I outed a zoophile and even linked stuff about that same zoophile. Oh wait, actually no, my bad. It was 2 zoophiles within that same thing. I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense to me, and I'm just confused on the comments he makes overall. His wording in his comment section is very much so confusing, and I do want to see a response for that, so please do. Thank you so much for that. Now, the doxing situation. I am going to give credit where credit is due. Vice did offer to try and fix things about the doxing situation. However, I did not want his help. I don't blame him fully for the doxing because, while yes, he did make multiple videos about me, I don't think it's fully his fault as my own wording was poor, and that is mainly my fault. I appreciate him trying to help, but like I said in the comments, I don't need pity from a dude or anyone else. I fucked up my wording. Whatever happened is my fault, but I'm doing my best here by making this video and holding myself accountable. Even while typing this script, I have been doxed yet again, or well, my phone number was leaked. I will show the screenshots I have, and yes, I have called the authorities, and yes, I am safe. I don't see it as a total loss here, not because I don't care, because I am extremely terrified. I just expect this to happen sometimes. One of the people who did dox me in the comments turned out to be some kid that used to go to school with me, and as for the other 2, I have no fucking clue. And before anyone asks, no, I did not know this person. I graduated before I could properly meet them, and so I did not even give them my address. The grammar of some of these doxing messages tells me the others are most likely minors, and so I'm not going to get too upset over it. It's in the past, and I'm trying to move forward, which is why this video has taken so long. I've been busy with these situations and taking care of myself. I promise I'm safe. It's not the end of the world. Again, I don't blame Vice fully for it, so please don't attack him or his audience. As for my apology, I have 3 apologies I should make. One for the video itself, one to my fans, and one to Vice. For the video itself, I do deeply apologize for how I handled that video. I should have generally took the time to read things more, avoid things if I couldn't handle discussing them, and just overall should have done a lot more research and been a lot more careful. I apologize for all the confusion and all the discomfort I've caused. I learned that this whole situation is a lot bigger than me and Vice and the commentary community in general, and that some things are better left to the people who actively experienced this and the events, like Isaac and others. Bunny's videos and callouts, docs and such are just a big example of we don't know everything yet. We still don't know everything properly because everyone is still fighting headstrong aside from Bunny, and even then when Bunny made that video, they fought a lot and no side is good here. Not Bunny, not Brat Blush, not anyone else, because none of us know the full story. Even after Isaac's 2-hour-long ass video, we still don't know anything, and that is a massive issue. We as a community shouldn't have covered that section of Bunny's video, and while yes, covering the Toyo situation was fine, covering the docs like we know shit, or covering all the posts when in reality they are for the most part, really lacking information and were cropped with some content gone, etc., etc. No one should have covered the situation who wasn't already involved by Bunny and others. I was misunderstanding a lot of the situation, and for that I'm really sorry, and I'm truly sorry for how I worded things. How many people I offended or hurt, that was never my intention when I made my video. However, I understand why it would come across that way, and I completely respect your opinions on me after I make this video. I would never intentionally support zoos, and I always try to do my best not to show that kind of stuff, that I'm not okay with that subject, and that I'm actively reporting these types of people, and I wouldn't ever dream of hurting an animal in that way. I know Vice said unintentionally or not, but either way, unintentionally or not, I wouldn't even consider doing that kind of action, and I feel awful knowing that I worded things poorly. Now, I know this isn't an excuse, but I don't usually overthink my rant videos, but I think after this video I've learned to at least remember and do better how I word things, because I hurt so many people and offended so many people, and again, I'm so sorry for that. Now, for my audience, that video wasn't even close to the standards I hold towards my main channel, and I'm truly sorry for that shitty ass video. I won't be deleting it, but I will be keeping it up again in order to hold myself accountable, and I want my audience to do the same. I'll be posting this on both channels because I think it's important everyone who saw that video knows and understands me. I'm sorry to my audience for not giving you guys respect and for not covering the topic properly for you guys to understand it better. I hope that in the end of this video you can forgive me, but I won't push you, and I understand that it's hard to forgive a mistake like this, so please do not feel like you have to. Now, for Vice. Now, I know I was very upset at you for your use of words and the lack of research, but I do want to apologize towards you for some of it as well. I'm sorry for not seeing your video sooner. I promise you, I was not ignoring them, I wasn't avoiding the problem, I was just on my main channel and I didn't see it. I also would like to apologize on behalf of my friends. I did show them the videos, however, I told them not to comment on them, and it would reflect badly on me as a person, and while I cannot control their actions, because, again, I'm my own person, they are their own person, I do apologize for them commenting, even if I do agree with some of their points. They should have waited until my video was out before commenting, and I hope they didn't upset you or offend you. I do appreciate you trying to sort things out with me, and I do appreciate you trying to help me with the doxing situation. You do seem to hold some respect for people, even if you lack it sometimes, so thank you for being patient and waiting for me to finish this video. So, closing thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know that Vice will be making a response video to this, and I want to make it very clear. I will not be making a video response back. If he wants to clear things up with me, and if he genuinely is going to continue making videos about me, then he can DM me himself, as I've offered before, and he can even ask me himself. I refuse to make more videos on the subject when I feel this is an almost 60-page Google Doc of expressing my discomfort and truths is good enough. Whatever you guys pick is your call, and I will link many videos down below about Bad Dragon, about the Google Doc, about Isaac's video, and many others. This video was about my allegations, not about those sections, which is why I'm not adding every single bit of detail, and that will be linked down below. I do want you guys to choose what you feel is right when deciding how you feel. Please don't pick just because you think it'll make me upset. Genuinely think for yourselves and stick to your gut, and I mean this towards my friends, my family, my fans, everyone. Please choose what you think is correct and what you feel is right based off of your experience with me, this video in general, and everything like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day. Peace out, guys. Bye.